separate the real from the fake. See, we got to get back to love. If we get back to love, then that's when we're going to get back to us.
It seems like it's never enough. And what do you say when you're...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of People Empowerment, where we would strive to change the conditions in our community. Today is a very special show, and today I have a very special guest. My guest today is Grandmaster Son who is a Korean-born, world-renowned Grandmaster instructor of Taekwondo and Hapkido. How you doing today, Grandmaster Son?
Oh, hello, Master.
Oh, much pleasure to be here. Grandmaster Son is also my master instructor. I am a 5th degree black belt master instructor in Taekwondo. He is the head of my organization, and he is a very talented man. That's why we got him here. So anyway, today at People Empowerment, we wanted to share a little bit. We just had a big testing for my students today, and Grandmaster Son came and gave us the pleasure of visiting us and sitting in on our testing and actually overseeing it. So this man that you see here with me is one of the real Korean martial art masters. If you know anything about Taekwondo, you know it's originally Korean orientated art. If you know anything about Hapkido, Tang Sudo and such, very strong Korean martial arts. So we have this pleasure of and great honor of having this Grandmaster here today, Grandmaster Son. So would you please say hello to the people and say a little bit to them, please?
Well, hello everyone, and I'm very honored and excited about it because Master Nate, he's one of the my favorite martial art student nowadays. So I come here. And I've been in Canada last 40 years, 45 years, and then I know the United States is a very special country in the world, especially best supporter, best aid, best, the country allied with Korea. And I'm from South Korea. So as you know, internationally, Taekwondo is one of the popular, also very known sports plus mental, the aspect as well. So we are part of it. And I devote 2/3 of my 3/4 of my life, entire my life devoted. And I am very honored. And I've seen a lot of people become very healthy, physically, mentally. Because of American trend, because of American acceptance of a new wave from around the world, it could become worldwide. For example, before the World War II, 1945, Japan surrender. It happened, changed so much dramatically. For example, they have Japanese judo, aikido, and karate. People only understood karate because they never heard about Taekwondo. Mm-hmm. They never heard about Kung Fu until 70 Bruce Lee movie. So at this point, I just want to introduce myself, and hopefully I'll do my best to introduce and talk about Taekwondo. Most of you are very well-rounded, very expert, higher degree. You guys truly become Taekwondo expertise in North America, worldwide. Thank you.
Grandmaster Son, okay, so let's begin. Now I know you've been training a long time, all your life, like you said, 3/4 of your life. But how old were you when you actually started training, and what discipline did you start in? Was it Taekwondo you started in training?
Well, let me
how old?
Yeah, simply. Just like the eagle's point of view, everybody has their own way of distinction, understand. So as for me, let me briefly introduce my born age and my district, Korean mentality. Sometimes some of the foreigners, very dedicated training, sometimes I couldn't help laughing, forgive me, because they are digging in the wrong territory. For example, I was born in, whether you like it or not, 1942, up in territorial Pokdong, which is the Manchuria area. Unfortunately, that area was a Japanese influence, Japanese empire, you call it, before World War II ended. So many immigrants from all over, the millions of Korean national, they escaped from Japanese occupation. They developed a new temporary, the head office in Shanghai, Chiang Kai-shek gave me offer because they both Korea, China didn't like Japanese attitude. So a lot of people escaped. Most people survived in there. So North Korea at the time, high spirit, Manchuria. And then Japanese the strategy was just like Mongolia, and they controlled territory, they developed the national pride, own governor. So I was born there. My father was very brilliant, strong man, like anybody else. He could be a nationalist. And my mother was sort of government's family, very beautiful lady. And he won the Korean wrestling champion, so he earned my mother.
So your father was a tough guy.
Yeah, tough guy. But then my mother's uncle was a lot tougher than my father. And then North Korea has a temple, and I have that blood. So right after the 45, oh my God, it's really happy that in the name of United Nations, in the name of Democratic Society of America, USA, we become free. So from then on, 1945, everyone is so happy. In Japan, the lost country move out. For 3-4 years, Japanese, when resigned, North Korea supported by Russia, as you know, China. South Korea supported by Western force, especially USA. So that is the Cold War. So first 3 years, there was no government. 1948, they decided to have their own government. North Korea, South Korea divided. It's unfortunate. And then within 2 years, 1950, bang, Korean War.
So that's how they decided to separate
right.
from North and South Korea.
How could we train in those times? Impossible. A lot of people lie. People my age, I learned when I was 9, 10. Forget it. You're excellent liar.
Really?
Yeah, so I learned how to tumbling from the street fighter named, I forgot, he was Secretary General of the whole Korean nation, weightlifting chariot competition. He was staying at my father's in a room.
How old were you then?
He taught me. I was 9, 10, 11.
9, 10, 11 years old?
Very cold winter, cold shower, in the winter throughout, tough, like my father, he did it, handstand. I was
Really?
And then because of that talent, I was a little daredevil. I become whiz kid. I went to school Peze, and they accept me because I have talent. I become almost national gymnast.
Really?
Yes. And 3 of us, as one of them Olympic coach, 40 years, very well-known professor in Olympic Committee in Korea, is all my schoolmate.
So your first art you studied was actually judo?
Not judo, it was tangsudo.
Oh, tangsudo.
I mean gymnastics.
Oh, gymnastics.
So
first was
from
gymnastics.
That school, 1951, Syngman Rhee from Princeton University, as we saw, he's a very elite man. Our senior, same school, president of Syngman Rhee. We at that school, we start from grade 7 to grade 9, grade 11. You must learn Taekwondo and Bible. But our school is.
Everybody in the school must learn.
Yes, yeah.
What you
so
hear that?
Bible,
people?
because Appenzeller is like evangelist.
Wait, let me understand this, Grandmaster. Please forgive me. So everybody who went to school trained in Taekwondo, all the kids, all the people.
No, not Taekwondo, judo.
I mean in judo, but all the kids trained.
Yeah, and then that
was
is
mandatory.
one of the first Western education, because at that time Korea, olden days, like a Sangtu, but that school is modern because the founder of that school is Appenzeller, is an American, the reverend, and he's a very, very honorable man, and he actually put the American spirit in Korea, and that's one of the most modern school in South Korea, and I graduated that school.
Oh.
You got to be very special to get in there. In that school, I didn't like it actually. There's a lot of history, but then 2 things I like it: sports, and judo and Bible. I didn't like it, honestly.
Didn't like the Bible.
Yeah,
huh?
but you have to attend chapel and reading it.
So now
judo I started in 1955 when I was 13.
Wow.
So
how many years judo?
About 3-4 years.
3-4 years, and then?
And then when I finished that school, I could do something else. Korea University could be the president. Anyway, so sometime I thought I was going to be a lawyer, but then There's no vision at that time, even though a young man, there's no vision in Korea. No job right after the war. So we went to the army as soon as possible. Once I finished 3 years military service, Army 22 and a half, Air Force, the 3 years.
So what were you in the military?
I was very lucky to get into Air Force.
And what rank did you achieve?
Staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant.
Yes.
How many years? 3 years? Staff sergeant?
4 years. But anyway, at that time I was staff sergeant because I used to love crazy about Hollywood movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sort of self-proclaimed film critic. So I was very fluent in American culture, not English, but my brother was an elite pilot, Air Force Academy jet pilot.
Wow.
And he gave me a lot of technical order. I was able to read those English. So I was able to fluff with the English attitude because I like North American culture very much.
At what age did you receive your first black belt?
That's a come and go. At the time, there's no distinction like black belt, just like Chinese Kung Fu, Hazan. When master say you're good, that's a black belt. Nowadays, so much here, like college program, there's a million degrees out there. Because when you have a program, I see a lot of talented people in my days, brilliant fighter, martial artists, sometimes they don't even have degree. Do you think these founders of martial art have a degree? Usually they earn it? I doubt it.
Wow.
I doubt it. Because I know many Korean people know that. So we have different distinction there, right? So you may be sporty. Black belt at that time does not exist.
Wow.
A lot of people say it's baloney. Like just before 1945, the war ended. There was a school for the Cheongdogan, the Dangsudo. But before that, 1936, Cheongdogan Yuonguk started in the here. So means at that time degree means 5-10 years you don't get a degree.
It's a lot of training. No degree.
Lot of training. Actually, there was no distinction there.
Okay. So now, what is the distinction? Okay, put it another way. So now, when did you start incorporating Hapkido into your training?
That's again long story. I always enjoy talking to other masters because sometimes they don't know. When I say they got sharp. Hapkido Taekwondo is, in my opinion, two monumental great martial art. But even 40 years ago, there was 18 different official martial art in Korea. Most people don't know, like
wow.
Because they are not interested, but right now they're coming out everywhere, like Kamdo, Kendo, you know what I'm saying, Korean style. It's very powerful. But they don't have many numbers, but million people like Hapkido and Taekwondo. It's all umbrella. It's so powerful. Just like our, something, even culture, food. So Hapkido, Taekwondo, I know the story very well, in and out, both sides, but it'll take me 5 years to talk about it.
Fair enough. Well, okay, let me ask you another question. All right, now you talked about when you were a little boy and you was trying to build up your courage and your indomitable spirit. So I'd like to talk about a little bit about that because I thought it was very interesting. And you shared with me the fact that you used to climb up into the mountain. You used to go up in the mountains by yourself.
Oh yeah, those already I was tough.
And there was one incident in particular that you told me about. Could you share that with us?
With the audience, well, everybody has a soldier. So when you go to the army, when you're a soldier, probably millions of history, everybody's a hero. When you're alone, isolated, whether you're enemy territory, behind, surrounded, if you end up in jail for no reason, gangs around you, intimidating, racism, you have to survive. Of course, everybody try, but you have to be very, very carefully, protect yourself.
Of course.
That's indomitable spirit, right? I used to read a lot of mythology books. Guy like me, I don't want to die early. I want to do something. That's my pride. So I used to climb up Baegundae, which is in Subong, behind the Seoul city. It's a beautiful mountain, but of course there's a lot of mountains everywhere. But it's so hiking. I used to live around the corner. So on the Saturday, Sunday, if I have money, I go to a movie. If I don't, I climb up the mountain, stay there. It's been done 2-3 years. Once in the beginning, you're scared. Later on, you're so happy to jump to the rock, climb up, jump from the tree, and freedom up in the mountain. And when I go to city next day, say Monday, Tuesday, go to school, a lot of little guys there, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid of human anymore. One time, I was very depressed. I was sort of 17, 18, very tough. I went to up. I made some peace as well. Thank you.
Okay, let me ask you this now. If you don't mind, and I don't want to pry, but can you just tell us briefly a little bit about your mother and your father?
Oh, everybody. But when I was growing up, I always had it most respectable, most fearsome. Two people. One is Korean president. He was like, and my father, very scared of
the
him.
president and your father.
President and my father was most fearsome, most respectful, most awesome men I knew when I was growing up. By the time when I was a teenager, they made me say something. They got drunk, but they were very tough men. And I told myself, how did they raise children in those hard times? And we appreciate their devotion. And I was not the best son. I have 3 brothers, 3 sisters, all well off, educated well, and some are very heartfelt devotion to the parents. And I'm not the best child, and I regret that.
Okay, well, we can understand that. Now, I don't know if you guys know, so I'm gonna share it with you. Grandmaster Son Moon-Soo currently resides in Toronto. Now, when I met him, he was running a Taekwondo school in the heart of Chinatown, Toronto, Chinatown. Now, this is a Korean martial art instructor with a Korean martial arts school right in the heart of Chinatown with all those schools. So, Grandmaster Son, I want you to share with us, first of all, why did you open up a Korean martial art Taekwondo school in the heart of Chinatown?
There are a million reasons. Number one, I used to run my school in North York, which is a Jewish community, very well-rounded. But then, as being a minority, I was not impressed. Out of heart, I teach somebody, I feel like I'm fooling myself. So I have to look for a new location. I end up European town, Hyde Park. They're full of European Chinatown. They're European, like Ukrainian, Russian, German, French. Yeah, very European. People say that you're not going to survive. I survived the 11 years.
11 years.
So George Schwaller, Muhammad Ali, friend, they come down, say hi to me. Ben Johnson came to hi to me. TV commercials, the generals, the professor, doctors show up. And they were saying, what's this yellow man doing here?
What the yellow man doing?
Yeah, I was doing good. And then there's a lot of policemen come up. And they told me, do you know this man? I find that he's my student. He was a Vietnamese gang leader. And he said, Master Son is my God. He said, you are good. I
For
said,
him to say that.
A lot of crime in Chinatown. I said, why don't I? I love Chinatown, Hong Kong movie, Chinese food. And I had a beautiful Chinese girlfriend, so I tried there. And I couldn't survive. I just took my chance.
So didn't people come into your
Yeah,
school and try to give
me,
you trouble?
even my best people say, you're not going to survive more than 3 months.
Yeah.
I survived more than 22 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible because that's where I trained
now
and
this
got my
Korea,
black belt.
Japan, as I said, Korean, Japan, Chinese relationship. 20 years ago, I used to say English, German, French culture. They all united each other. They hate each other, but they like each other. And Koreans are well accepted right now. Hanyu, which is Korean wave, even North America, right? When you go to New York, when you go to California, But then we Asians, we like to behave. Some troublemakers.
So Grandmaster Son.
I'm still there.
So in all, you have been actually training in martial arts, Taekwondo, Hapkido, Tangsudo, Judo. How long have you been training altogether?
I would say officially from 55, 56. So about 60 years.
60 years.
And I don't feel like I waste my time. But a lot of people, even my family the other day, I was talking about senior citizens in Korea. They're all professional back there. A lot of people don't. I was pretty sloppy, I admit, behaving, but they are quiet. They think I'm not. A lot of people don't know how good I am now, honestly.
Well, you know,
They haven't
Grandmaster-
seen me last 40, 30 years because martial art really helped me boost up. And I don't care.
Well, you know, Grandmaster Son, I watched you last night and today, and what happened was Grandmaster Son, he taught my students some self-defense and some Hapkido techniques, some Hapkido moves, and I tell you guys, I swear to God, it reminded me of back 20-something years ago when I was the one that he was flipping through the air with one hand, when I was the one he was laughing. I remember when I first met Grandmaster Son, I was a blue belt. And I was a tough guy, you know what I mean? And I was like about 30 years old. And when I went in there, I said, let me see this guy, you know, this little guy. Let me see what I can do. And I used to come and I used to grab him hard as I could, try to swing hard. I used to really try to hurt him to see if it worked. Well, I remember always being flipped through the air. He flipped me through the air. He flipped me through the air. So he say, Nathan, are you okay, Nathan? It was so funny.
Allow me a few words in this regard, because you came to see me 20, 30 years. One can say, what did you learn so far? Even though those empty periods, you learn a lot. The reason I tell you right away, before 1960, Bruce Lee was very good in Hollywood because he was a minority, but he trained hard. He trained hard for the right moment. He was not accepted because he was not Anglo-Saxon. So he went to South. My point is, he was teaching a lot of professional actors too. His movie, Chinese Connection, the warlord who got assassinated by Chinese, Japanese, or whatever plot. His teacher, Chen Dai, the Bruce Lee sort of revenging his teacher. He was not a best student of his system. But he took over, he was so influenced by teacher, revenge. He created his own style, but he honored his teacher. That is 정무문. Like Jet Li made a movie, Bruce Lee made a movie. A lot of people don't know, they don't care. My point is, you haven't trained with me every daily, which I did like 30, 40 years, and you come along good because you have your own system, come to see me, and everybody same. See what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So when you evaluate, when you look for the old teachers, just like one day we go to our teacher, as long as you're teaching, distance is not important. As long as you got spirit, you're learning it. That's what I believe. So you're doing okay.
Thank you very much. I absolutely agree with that. Now, listen, time always flies fast on this show, but it's one thing I gotta tell you guys. Now, like I say, been training 60 years, so he's developed a new system. And I'd like Grandmaster Son to share the new system. The name of it is Hapkido, which is a combination of Hapkido and Taekwondo. Grandmaster?
Good. Usually in our day, just like the Yubul Son, Confucianism, Buddhism, Taoism, that is teaching manner, discipline, educate, follow, respect, etc. In my opinion, as a freedom of spirit, come to America, everything is freedom. I just hate my father's hard discipline, honestly. Leave him alone. That's the American spirit, right? So Hapkido is so. When I teach, I learn from, I have 18 teachers. 9 of them great masters in the world, Taekwondo, Hapkido. So what I'm getting is, I put it myself, don't be a follower, be a general. That's what I'm teaching. And that's what I want to be. You are supposed to be the one, you can be a loyal, but good follower become good leader, right? So if you like the system, follow it until you know it. That's the idea. I know some of the ITF, WTF finesse, thousands of movement, patterns, step sparring, learn, lecture. And I know the Hapkido. I put it together. And I would say about 5% of what I know, I put it together, Hapkido.
Hapkido.
Yeah. But it's, again, I hope my next generation learn. But I know I have my degree, 4th, 5th, 6th degree in Chinatown. I hope they learn, but they are not interested, and I'm not interested.
So right now you're located in the headquarters for World Taekwondo Federation is located in Toronto.
Yes,
Canada?
so actually on and on. I have many beautiful students, powerfully developed professional everywhere, state, and I do some research writing to the worldwide. European WTF, ITF. Right now, the Grandmaster Fellowship around the world, we put it together, and I am very excited about being part of it. We want to design, we want to put it together for benefit, because olden days you train hard. Now competition is important, but not as important.
Now I remember that you showed me in some of your brochures. You showed me a while back. You and I believe the president of ITF, Joan Rhee, June Park So.
Okay.
You guys got together and you had a master seminar. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, those are again exciting. Again, people come and go, but it's just like an old system, legendary system. We have to honor them how they develop it. Like like even Bruce Lee, we're happy because he's about my age, but he's very creative, challenging. He learned from here to here. General Choi was brilliant, and so is other 6 or 9 Kwan original founder.
What is the difference? If we got about 4 minutes
So
left.
much,
What is the difference between ITF, WTF, RTF, GTF?
Okay, so we call it nowadays, people around the world accept it. ITF designed with the army, foot soldier, with the General Choi, with the other presidents, so on. He was a military personnel, so he had authority, connection to the government.
Okay.
Civilian grandmasters have their own system, like hidden. In China, there's no kung fu master don't come out, but they were hidden secret, right? So northern side, right after Korean War, you know that there's nothing to do. So top guy have it. Oh, put it together, leader. That's beginning of Kwan. And I learned from Japanese style. I learned from Shanghai Chinese style, different Kwan. So there, for example, there are 3 types. First, from China, Japanese type, Cheongdogan, Sodogan, Songmugan. But Songmugan, originally Grandmaster Nobingji, brilliant man, his student. They're from Shanghai, June. So they created, this is, Chinese, Korean mixer. But Korean national General Choi said, well, no, I want to do Korean. Redesign, rename it, put it history, that's a Taekwondo.
Wow.
And China, right now in South Korea, well, I'm from there. I lived 19 years. WTF means 3,000 years of history.
Wow.
Which I believe it.
WTF means 3,000
Yeah.
years. That's
So
pretty serious.
General Choi feel like
Grandmaster, we got Grandmaster Son, we got 2 minutes left.
Right.
Now again, it's very much pleasure to have you on this show, and I hope that when you come back to America, you'll be willing to come back on again, and we can sit and put one together
Once
again.
again, as I said, all the privilege, world marketing from South America, Korea, Japan, China. If it's world marketing, you must go through America. Then it become world trend, and Taekwondo is very lucky.
So you will come back to America very soon.
Well,
and
it's a
help us
very
out?
honor, and like I said, I hope everything get along and world peace, and we know the superpower America is very much.
That's true.
Thank you.
Well, Grandmaster Son, in our last minute here, I got to tell you, it's such a great honor for you to come here and be on the show. Yeah. It's also a great honor for you to be my master instructor and
I'm
to be the
very
leader
proud of you as well.
the RTF. I'm going to do my best for you. I'm going to try to make you proud of me, just like I am very proud of you and very honored for you to be my Grandmaster. So again, everybody, Grandmaster Son, I'm glad you can come on and share with us. Time flies. And until next time on People Empowerment, this is Nate Boyd telling you, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention.